morning, everyone, and welcome to PNIA's Nickel Initiative Talks and Webinar Series. So, for those who just tuned in into our program, the Nickel Initiative Talks and Webinar Series is a platform for stakeholders to exchange information and insights that will help promote the progressive and sustainable development of the nickel mining industry. I am your host for today, Charmaine Oleya Capili. I think today we have more than 95 people who are now watching this episode. So we have friends from the department, of course, from the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the Mines and Geosciences Bureau, and colleagues and partners from Surigao, Palawan, and Zambales. We also have viewers from Indonesia, from the Diplomatic Corps. We see registrations from the U.S. Embassy, and okay, so there. Before we begin, may I share some very important reminders. So first, the webinar episode is being recorded and we will be uploading the recording in our Facebook page. So please like and follow the Philippine Nickel Industry Association's Facebook page to stay updated on industry development. So second, the video and microphones of participants are automatically disabled following the format of our webinar. And third, we encourage you to participate in the discussion by sending in your comments and questions through the Q&A button. We will take up your questions during the open forum segment, and we hope to answer all of them. So please stay with us until the end of the program around 11:30 a.m. And finally, if you have suggested future episodes of the Nickel Initiative Talks and Webinar Series, please give your suggestions via the Q&A button as well. So moving on with the program, today we will talk about promoting sustainable development by advancing the role of women in mining. As an organization, PINEA is steadfast in its commitment to help the country achieve the targets under the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or the UN SDG. So today, SDG 5 we will focus on SDG 5. SDG 5 focuses on achieving gender equality and empowerment of all women and girls. It seeks to eliminate, or the very least, to reduce all forms of inequality for all women and girls in multiple areas of their lives, at home, in the community, school, or in the workplace. In the Philippines, much has been done to advance the women agenda, but there is more work to be done to keep this momentum. This becomes more challenging now that the pandemic has created new layers of pressure and hurdles to women and girls in terms of their ability to be economically empowered, have access to quality education, and to be protected from all forms of violence. The mining sector in the Philippines is still dominantly male. However, there are significant gains that we can leverage on to further push the needle that will encourage more women participation in the industry. So in my experience, when I go to the mine site, although the majority are still men, but you can really see an increasing population of women working with the mining industry, doing business with the mining industry, involving themselves in community programs, and even in mining companies, you can already see officers, community workers that are women. Even beneficiaries, majority are women. So let's start. For the first speaker, for this reason, we invited distinguished women to share their knowledge, experience, and insights on our topic today. This talk is timely not just because we recently celebrated Women's Month last March, but also because we are about to celebrate Labor Day tomorrow, May 1. Our first speaker is one of the people whom I met in Indonesia. She's one of those staunch advocates for women in mining. So she's the co-founder and executive director of Women in Mining and Energy in Indonesia. Her name is Maya Muslis. Maya is an extensive professional experience working with the mining, oil, and gas industry for more than 13 years. Specializing on environment and biodiversity, her work focuses on environmental and biodiversity best management practices and environmental planning and sustainability management. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to please welcome Miss Maya Mushlis. Good morning, Maya.
Hi, morning, Charmaine. Thank you
Morning.
for having me here this morning.
Thank you. I know you're so busy, but thank you for taking your time to share your experiences, the things that you do in Indonesia.
Sure.
Okay, Maya, you can go
Yeah.
ahead and speak now.
So, good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be invited by Charmaine and team here to present about my perspective about women in mining outlook. Again, thank you for having me. I'm the executive director of Women in Mining and Energy. So, Women in Mining and Energy is a non-profit organization we established in 2019. We focus our work in advocating women gender equality in the mining and energy sector. So today I'm going to highlight a bit about the outlook of women in mining in some countries that have been searched the data this week. I got the data, by the way, from the NSW Mineral Council Women in Mining Statistics in 2014. And in Australia, say that we can see from the statistics here that women is mostly represent in the clerical, administrative, professional, and machinery operators, while we can see the representation of women in the board member, executive management, uh, and also senior management is remain very very low. It's less than 3%. Even in Australia, the representation of women these days in the senior level management is very less, according to the data. We can see also that 63% of companies surveyed that provide personal protective equipment and clothing suitable for women. We know that I myself working in the mining and also energy sector for more than 15 years. Sometimes I feel it's very tough to wear the PPE for women, especially if you are get pregnant and then the clothes is not suitable for you to move around. So that's one of that challenging. That's one of the challenges that women have to be deal with on site, regard to personal protective equipment, clothes. And next one is 72% companies survey paid parental leave in addition to government schemes. So not all the companies in Australia, but yeah, most of them, they said that offer paid parental leave. While in Indonesia, not many companies has already at this level of awareness in regard to paid parental leave. Uh, Mostly companies in Indonesia paid for the government scheme, but while to retain or to attract more women to the industry is remain low. 62% women in mining in industry have been employed in their current in the current role 1 to 5 years. So that's pretty high for Australia. And while 71% said should be more done to encourage women to consider career in the mining industry. So that's very interesting. We know Australia have been implemented this policy, the gender equality policy, for many years. They've already uh, set up the policies in place, the gender mainstreaming policy, even audit. That they've already set up all the infrastructures, and they set up all the documents in place, and also the law enforcement is also is very good, but there's most of the people said there should be more done to encourage women to consider career in the mining and industry. Unfortunately, I couldn't find data beyond that 2014, but yeah, this is the data that I got lately. So let's see what Africa says about the women in mining. So the mining industry in South Africa employs like 455,000 people. So the women represent 12% of this number. So there's a significant increase from 2002 to 2019. There's significant of women that employed in the mining industry. Let's see the quick fact here. That sorry, that from the top management, 17%. That's quite high. Senior management also 70%, and professionally qualified 24%, and also skilled technical professions is also 18%. So I got this data from Women in Mining Global Perspective in 2020. So we know Africa is also quite good. They are good in implementing the gender policy. Um, I've been in South Africa in 2018, and then I saw that um, I met with a lot of female from the mining industry, and we talk a lot. And I have to admit that they uh, one or two steps ahead from Indonesia. And let's see from the PPE, the personal protective equipment they wear, it's already suited for women. The safety boot is not that heavy as what currently we use. The clothes is very suit for female bodies, and yeah, it's very interesting. I saw that, and then I said, wow, uh, they're more ahead beyond what happened in Southeast Asia countries. So let's see what's in Indonesia. So the stat says that 45% girls graduated in the STEM subject, science, technology, and engineering, and math, compared to boys. So we can see the ratio between female and male graduated with STEM subject is almost equal. But what happened when they entered the mining industry? It dropped significantly. We record that only 7% female employees are working in the formal mining industries. So it doesn't really reflect what statistics says while they are doing the STEM subjects in the college, and then while entering the mining industry, the industry it drops significantly. This could be happen because for many reasons. One is maybe female afraid or girls are afraid that mining is a very male dominated industry. So I'm very worried to have to work very far from home. I'm worried with the stereotype and other stuffs, and also mostly because of not many mining companies offer equal opportunity for female, because they offer because they're worried that a female very easy to resign from the to quit from the job, because they have to get married, they have to get children, and blah blah blah. While they don't give us this equal opportunity or the same opportunity as boys because of the some kind of a stereotype that's already in their perspective. So we can see that like 24 percentage of women holding managerial level positions, while men was more than triple. So yeah, we can see many senior managers in Indonesia, but in terms of the CEO or very high level management, it's a very less number. Unfortunately, I couldn't present the statistics for the CEO because we don't have set up the percentage for the female CEO in Indonesia. But yesterday, one of the female where I am very close to, she is the CEO of nickel, one of the biggest nickel mining, nickel companies in Indonesia, Vale Indonesia. Yesterday, it was announced that her female CEO, they have a female CEO, the first female CEO in Indonesia. So I'm very proud. Yesterday, she was announced as the first female in Indonesia to lead the big company of nickel mining in Indonesia. So relate to Indonesia GDI, again, Indonesia is not much doing the gender equality. That's why I'm still keep focusing my work to advocate how we can go ahead or keep to be consistent, uh, working closely with the government to create very productive policies that focus on how to improve female representation in the sector. So maybe I can learn more from you here. We can share after this presentation about how Philippine. I believe Philippine is much good, much better in implementing the gender equality, but we can discuss it later. So next one is I got this report from APEC Women Participation in Mining Industry 2019. It says that from most of the companies that surveyed, uh, asking about the question, what kind of value do women inclusion and diversity to your organization? And mostly they said that if we implement inclusivity and also diversity in the company, so it's become more productive and also more safety for the production, and also it also can give benefit or revenue, more revenue in the company. So it is a very interesting data that people see this inclusion and also diversity is a very positive things that related to productivity, safety, and also revenue for the company. So in terms of what can influence, what factors can influence women leadership, that like thereof of in the mining sector. So they believe that social and also cultural norms still very challenging, and also education and skills. They say is very important to adapt with this kind of leadership to improve awareness of the gender equality. Like senior level support is a very important parts of how to influence female leadership. HR policies again is also important, but overall on top of that, social and also cultural norms. So we have to adapt with our current cultures, adapt with the inclusion and also diversity to achieve the gender equality in the sector. So last question. So in the report asking about what kind of policies are important to address the attractions to attract more women. So they say that mostly about coaching. So coaching is a very important part in the company to attract more women. Why coaching is very important? Because it's a very basic forms of women have to support women, or even not only women, but also male should support also women to retain or to retain or to attract more females to join in the sector. Uh, instead of also coaching, but uh, larger network and also can be created by this kind of relationship between mentee and mentors. It's a more personal relationship. So I can see there's a lot of benefits that we can get from coaching and also mentoring. Another one is also sponsorship, networking, and also we can see mentorship and also coaching. So coaching is a more personal, while mentorship is more uh, what it's a professional relationship, but it's a very close rather than it's closer relationship rather than between us superior and also subordinates. So that's all from the statistics says. So I want to reveal a little bit about my observation during our session with our network in Indonesia. Sometimes I ask them about why what can what challenges do you have to start your career in mining sector, and most of them say that my male colleagues told me that this job is not suitable for me. That's very very common statement that uh, happen on site, because male said that no, is women should look after the family, you should stay at home and cooking, you shouldn't be at the office, you shouldn't be on site, so this job is not suitable for you. So that's a very very common statement that we have here. But it's very important. I always say keep saying to female here through our events and also network that we have to be resilient. We shouldn't be take attention or uh, of what stereotype. We have to fight the stereotype that commonly happen in the male dominated industry. Harassment is also one of the most challenging. Most people say that male-dominated industry is not safe for a safe place for female to work, and also get married, having family, and having career is also consume the family time. And working remotely on site is a very challenging one. Like I'm the only female in my team. That's also very common because uh, I'm the only one. I'm on in 2012. I was the first female engineer working on site, and that's my experience. That I don't have someone to share my personal stuff because I'm the only female engineers on site. So that's the very most challenging um, um, situation that I had at that time. I don't have role models. Role models is very important in the community. So we have very limited role models and also not confident to compete with males. So what we can do? So women should support women. So that's a very basic thing that we should do. Involve and increase male participation. So gender equality is not just only female event. It's not only female problem or female issue, but it's more community issue. Everyone is responsible with this gender equality matters. So I ask or I encourage more female participate in this kind of event because this is it's very important to create our support system, and male also should involve in that supporting system. Look at around and find your mentors and choose your best fit role models. Be resilient in every situation and open communication to your superior, someone in the office that you trust, and find solution. Involve in the community who also have the same concerns. So we can discuss later about this.
Yes.
Yes, Chairman, do I still have time? I want to
Yep.
highlight about the woman in mining.
Yep. We can wrap up in. You have 3 minutes more to wrap up, Maya.
Okay, thank you. So this is the pictures that can illustrate life at mine sites. We can see here. So this is one of my college. She pregnant and then suitable. You can see the suitable PPE for pregnant ladies. So it's more comfy for female to work on site with this kind of clothes. So it's one step ahead for a company like TIS Indonesia at that time that start their PPE that's suitable for female. Okay, I might highlight about my organization that I represent today. So, Women in Mining Energy. Our approach that we believe women and men have equal opportunity benefit from mining sector, but it only can be achieved by create a working environment with equal status, rights, and also opportunities to the sustainable livelihood. So our approach is building strong coalition and partnership with multi stakeholders within the sectors. So I'm very happy to be invited here. It means also we can larger our network because Indonesia and also Philippines is a neighbor country. We have a same root. Pretty much we have a similar culture. So I think we can build more coalition and partnership and future collaboration in the in short term. Stimulating synergy by working with various actors, co-creation, ensure partnership and sustainability program, ensure continuous learning among at on all actor level. So what we do is we have a Ruang XY. Ruang means room. It's a public discussion venue. So we aim to promote knowledge spread with regard gender intervention with the sectors, present any problem faced by women. Uh, until now, we have like 10 Ruang XY we delivered since 2019. So every event we discuss about gender equality issues in the mining industries. So we also involve government, private sectors, and also other stakeholders who have the same concern. So that's a part of our effort to benefit our advocacy for a better policy. So we have also masterclass. Masterclass is like sharing knowledge to improve skills, soft skills for female, our network. So maybe someone from Philippine nickel industry wants to share. So because it's more recently it's more virtual, so I'm very welcome for you guys who wants to share with us with our network. We are very happy if you want to share your skills. We have communities here, so let's see what we can do in the next few months. We also have Ruang Leluasa, means it's dedicated to women in terms to cope with the mental health. We have like series of psychologists that support our activities, so they can share because female tend to get more harassment in the workplace, or have to dealing with difficulties in the male dominated office. So we provide the room to for female free, speak up free, and share their experience and support each other. So this is the community.
Okay, Maya.
Yeah, and also last one is female mentorship. So currently we have run one the first batch of female mentorship. So we have 6 female mentees on board to be matched with 6 mentors from the professional background, from senior level professional background. So that's pretty much from me. Charmaine, thank you.
Thank you, Maya. Okay. Um, Thank you, Maya. So if you have questions or feedback to Maya's presentation, please share or please hit the Q&A button so we can discuss it during our open forum. So we are fortunate to have our next speaker who made time for us today despite her very busy schedule. So she is no other than DENR, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources Assistant Secretary for Finance, Information Systems, and Mining Concerns, Engineer Nonita S. Kagiwa. Asit Kagiwa is a mining engineer by profession, and she earned her academic degree from the Cebu Institute of Technology. She has been with DNR for more than 3 decades since she joined in 1990. Right after a successful 10-year stint in the private sector, since then, she has led various positions in the national and regional offices of DENR and the MGB, particularly in areas that involved her in the creation and implementation of policies, programs, and regulations for the mining sector. This deep knowledge and experience made Ase Kagiwa a sought-after resource person in international and local stakeholder fora. So for another 15 minutes, let's welcome Assistant Secretary Nonita S. Kagiwa. Good morning, ASEC Nits.
Good morning to the men and women organizers of the Philippine Nickel Industry Association and to yourself, Ms. Charmaine Kapili, the Executive Director, to the President, the CEOs, the senior officials of all the mining companies participating in this activity, to my colleagues in the government na nandito, to our resource speaker from Indonesia, Ms. Maya, from the Philippine mining industry also, we have Miss Sarah, Miss Deborah, and Miss Pia. This morning, I'm just going to provide you with some of the uh, Philippine government policies on women. So to start with, I will provide everyone with the constitutional safeguards of women in the Philippines. Section 14 of Article 2 of the 1987 Constitution provides that the state recognizes the role of women in nation building and shall ensure the fundamental equality before the law of women and men. Likewise, Section 14 of Article 13 of the 97 Constitution provides also that the state shall protect working women by providing safe and healthful working conditions, taking into account their material functions and such facilities and opportunities that will enhance their welfare and enable them to realize their full potential in the service of the nation. Although there are no specified or specific provisions under the Philippine Mining Act of 1995 concerning women specifically in mining, all women in the nationwide workforce are protected under Republic Act number 9710, known as the Magna Carta of Women. So, this special law was enacted on August 14, 2009 by then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. This provides that comprehensive women's rights law that seeks to eliminate discrimination through the recognition, protection, fulfillment, and promotion of the rights of Filipino women. That the Philippine government's pledge of commitment to the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women's Committee in its 36th session in 2006 and to the United Nations Human Rights Council on its first Universal Periodic Review in 2009. Likewise, recognizes human rights granted by the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. So this law provides that the state as the primary duty bearer refrain from discriminating against women and violating their rights, to promote and fulfill the rights of women in all spheres, including the rights to substantive equality and non-discrimination, to protect women against discrimination and from violation of their rights and private corporations, entities, and individuals. This law covers the national government agencies, the government uncontrolled corporations, the local government units, private entities, private and state universities and colleges, private schools, and equivalent units in autonomous regions. Here are some of the salient features of the Magna Carta of women in the employment sector. Non-discrimination in employment, that women must have same privileges and opportunities as their men counterpart, including pay increases, additional benefits, and awards based on competency and quality of performance. Increasing the number of women in third-level positions in government, while women leadership in the private sector is encouraged. In this feature, after the promulgation of this Magna Carta of Women, it states there that 5 years after its implementation, it should have a 50 to 50% uh, women against men in the government service. But if you know nowadays, hindi yan po ang nasusunod. So the next is leave benefits of 2 months with full pay based on gross monthly compensation for women employees who undergo surgery caused by gynecological disorder. Provision of equal access and elimination of discrimination in education, scholarships, and training. Mandates all government offices to adopt gender mainstreaming as a strategy and creation and or strengthening of the gender and development focal points. The government agencies are mandated to adopt gender mainstreaming as a strategy to promote women's human rights and eliminate gender discrimination. With the planning, budgeting, monitoring, and evaluation of gender and development, that there will be an allocation of gender and development budget of at least 5% of the agency's total budget appropriations. That the gender and development programs shall be based from: number one, gender audit and analysis of policies, program services and situation of clientele, generation and review of 6 disaggregated data, and consultation with gender, women's rights advocates, and agency women clientele. So for the gender and development programs of the DNR, number one is the mainstreaming gender concerns, wherein through the chairperson of the gender and development, headed by our Undersecretary Annalisa Rebultete, the office conducted an annual gender and development planning and assessment, an application of harmonized gender and development guidelines and assessment of level of capacity of the National Gender and Development Focal Point system. The next is the cascading of the gender and development agenda, wherein this includes the regional offices, the attached agencies, the bureaus, the staff and line bureaus, wherein the conduct of a national review of the DNR Gender Strategic Plan for 2020 to 2025, and thus produced an updated DNR Gender Strategic Plan for 2020 to 2025. There was also awareness raising, a webinar to the newly hired employees on gender sensitivity and gender-related seminars offered online by public and private organizers were made accessible to all the DNR employees. And the office also operationalized the DNR Gender and Development office in here in the DNR central office. So there was also the celebration of the presidential proclamation number 224 and 227 and other awareness and capacity building programs. For the presidential proclamation number 224, this is during last 1998. This is the declaring the first week of March of every year as Women's Week, and March 8, 1998, and every year thereafter as Women's Rights and International Peace Day. And for Presidential Proclamation number 227, providing for the observance of the month of March as Women's Role in History Month. Likewise, we have the provision for the childcare support for DNR personnel. I think this is not only for the DNR, but I know other government offices they are providing the daycare centers, and for those centers now, those with lactating mothers. So one of the program, in response to the Memorandum Circular 2018-2004, which was issued by the Philippine Commission on Women, directing all government agencies to formulate the Gender and Development Agenda. The DNR, through our chairperson, as I said, Undersecretary Revoltate, and her staff, has come up with a handbook, the title of which, Beyond Gender Mainstreaming, Linking Environment and Natural Resources, Climate Change, Health and Gender. This is a DNR guide to planning for gender and development in the environment and natural resources sector for use by the gender and development focal persons, planning officers, and officers of various DNR bureaus, services, attached agencies, and regional offices, and to institutionalize the mainstreaming of the GAD concerns in the DNR's priority program. A draft DNR administrative order has already been submitted to the DNR Policy and Planning Service for its finalization. So here are some photo documentations for the DNR programs for the Mines and Geosciences Bureau. This was the training workshop on the finalization of the Gender and Development Agenda for 2020 to 2025, wherein this introduces the Gender and Development International and National mandates in line with the Gender and Development Planning and Budgeting and the concept of sectoral gender issues focusing on the 4 main entry points and gender mainstreaming and work on strategic action plans to address the identified prioritized gender issues in a working environment. Another on the right side is the gender sensitivity training, heighten the participants' knowledge on gender awareness, general rules and regulations, especially to the newly hired employees. And there is one policy issuance on the gender and development. The Mines and Geosciences Bureau Memorandum requiring all the MGB offices to use gender-sensitive language in the office, meaning to say, before, we are using chairperson, chairman, at saka chairwoman. So to eliminate that, we are using, this is what we said as gender-sensitive language in the office. We are using it, the chairperson. Okay? So, we had some inclusions, and in addition to this discussion is the inclusion of a condition on non-discrimination of gender. In our agreements and permits, mining permits and agreements, there are some provisions specifically on the Mineral Production Sharing Agreement under Section 10, which states employment and training of Philippine personnel. It provides that the contractor shall not discriminate on the basis of gender and shall respect the right of women workers to participate in policy and decision-making processes affecting their rights and benefits. So that is for the Mineral Production Sharing Agreement. Now, to come with the financial or technical assistance agreement. Section 15, under employment and training of Philippine personnel. states that non-discrimination. The contractor shall not discriminate on the basis of gender. The contractor shall respect the rights provided by law for all workers to participate in policy and decision-making processes affecting the rights and benefits. And we still have another permit for the mineral processing permit, which provides that the permit holder shall not discriminate on the basis of gender and shall respect the rights of women workers to participate in policy and decision-making processes affecting their rights and benefits. So that is very clear. So all I can say, for policies in the mining industry, these provisions under the MPSA, the FTA, and the mineral processing permit is very specific. So there are some other laws protecting women in the employment sector. So there is that RA 7192, which was promulgated February of 1992. Yeah, it is Women in Development and Nation Building Act. After which, we have an Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995 that is under Republic Act 7877. Then comes this anti-rape law, last 1997, that is RA 8353, and followed by the Rape Victim Assistance and Protection Act of 1995, which is under Republic Act 8505, and which the last or the recent one, the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004, or the Republic Act 9262. So these pertinent laws, these can be used, or these are being used by those women discriminated, is not only on the workplaces, even within the family. This anti-violence against women and their children. Maybe some of us or those other people hindi nila alam or they don't know all about these laws, but this is high time for an awareness of all the women, of all the men hearing or participating in this activity. This is a reminder that discrimination against women is being protected by some pertinent laws, rules, and regulations of the country. So, I said maraming salamat. And when we talk about responsible mining, hindi ko pa yun itudukan yung aking maraming salamat. It also includes the recognition of gender equality. That includes recognition of the role of women and empowerment of women in the achievement of a sustainable mineral development in our country. And for information, we have different mining companies in the nickel industry who have already senior officials, women senior officials. I will not just name one, but maybe two. I think one of a member of the board of directors, the Nickel Asia Corporation, and president of Manta Equities Incorporated, a business established in 1990. Her name is Miss Maria Patricia Zamora Ringen. And we have also the most empowered woman in the mining, in the nickel industry. We have Engineer Cynthia A. Rosero of Rio Tuba, Nickel Mining Corporation. This is not just a name, a two or three, but as of today, especially with this pandemic, and with the pronouncement of our government that the mining industry is one of the recovery package of this pandemic, wherein our GDP is, our economy is going down. So I can see now the women in the mining industry is only that some of them are just entering the industry. Some of them, And I know there are plenty of women, there are plenty of newly born, or even the college, I mean, not newly born, they have just finished their college in geology, in metallurgy, and mining engineering, and some of whom are already employed with some of the mining companies and the government service. Meaning to say, the women empowerment, the women in the mining industry already increases. And for us here in the DNR, our division chief level here is, I think, is more than 50% women. And for the assistant secretaries, we have a 50-50% ratio, meaning to say 50% yung ASIC na boys, males, and 50% with the females. And for the other mining companies, I have seen also, it's not only some of these resource speakers, but there are plenty women in mining companies, not only in the nickel mining companies. Maraming salamat and have a good day to everyone.
Daghang salamat, Asek Nits. And for our next segment, we will get the perspective of three women who are currently part of the nickel mining sector. They are not just in the office or working in the sidelines. They are out there in the field and leaving their own contributors to the nickel mining sector. I will call them one by one to give a short statement and give and share their experience as a woman working in the mining sector. First, let's listen to Miss Sarah Grace Lugo. She's our associate member. She's a contractor of one of our nickel mines. Her company is called Kelly Logistics. So, good morning, Miss Sarah.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, Ma'am Cha.
Salamat
Good
Karaja, you made it despite the brownout in Surigao.
Yes, actually it is brownout here in Surigao, so it's another challenge for me. So, good morning to all of you, and good morning especially to all the women who are attending in this webinar, and to my fellow speakers, good morning. Ready na, Ma'am Cha?
Okay, go ahead, Miss Sarah.
Okay. I am Zara Grace Lugo, 37 years old, with two adorable little boys. I am the manager of Kelly Logistics Services, associate member of Philippine Nickel Industry Association. My husband was engaged in tracking services in the mining way back 2009. Since 2012, we expand our business and set up Kelly Logistics Services, in which we provide LCT's Landcraft tank to support operation of Platinum Group Metals Corporation, PGMC. My actual experience as a manager of Kelly Logistics for 9 years of providing LCTs is to ensure that we could provide quality service to PGMC. I have to see to it that we could serve our client more than what they have expected us to do and can help in their operation. So I have to monitor the seaworthiness of the vessels to make sure not to disrupt the mining schedule. Of course, hindi natin kailangan na guluhin ang schedule ng mining. So I have to make sure the worthiness of the vessel. So I also see to it that the LCTs will arrive in the mining port on time. Of course, to avoid mga demorahe. Ayaw natin sa mining na magkaroon ng mga demorahe kasi sa mining talaga, time is gold. Aside from that, I monitor the health and well-being of all the crew members. So we have 15 crew members, all men on board per LCT. Of course, we have to, during this time of pandemic, I have also to monitor their health, well-being. Aside from that, kailangan ko din silang, syempre, i-encourage din ang mga tao natin para syempre sila yung nasa field din. Kailangan din natin silang i-encourage to lift them up. So my commitment is to ensure we provide impeccable service to our client in order to support sa operation ng mining company. I am proud of my work, especially as a woman working this male-dominated sector. On the question, what are the challenges I have encountered and how do I overcome those challenges? The challenges I have encountered in line of my job as a manager of Kelly Logistics na 9 years na nagpro-provide ng LCT. Of course, during the early years of my operation is I have only few knowledge when it comes to LCT. Siyempre, I am a graduate of pharmacy. Ang alam ko lang mga antibiotic, mga terms when it comes to medicine kasi mga nautical terms sa mga panglalaki talaga na field. So, every time tatawag yung crew members namin or especially the kapitan, tatawag siya, "Ma'am, may sira po ang ganitong part of LCT natin. Now, how could I relay the issue to the mining company if I could not picture out kung ano yung pinagsasabi ng kapitan namin? So I have to go to the mine port and see it for myself. I have to go on board to the vessel so that malaman ko, I can picture out kung ano talaga yung damage so that I can clearly explain it to the mining management. Of course, another challenge for me as a woman, going to the mine port, syempre, alam naman natin sa mining, there are lots of heavy equipment. So, it is very hot and dusty. So, to overcome this challenge, I have to take extra precautions. Number one, so in going to the mine site, I have to follow the safety protocols implemented by the mining company. I need to wear the hard hat and the safety vest in order for me na makita ako ng mga operators ng mga heavy equipments. Kasi, syempre, sa busy ng mga heavy operators, laging nagmamadali kasi time is gold, may mga hinahabol. So, kailangan ako makita nila, I have to follow the safety protocols to avoid accident. And of course, sa dust naman, and then sa init, sa mine site, I have to wear mga safety mask. Di pa uso ang mask noon. I have different kinds of mask already to protect myself from the heat. So that is how I survived my 9 years in the mining industry and protecting, of course, our skin sa hot and dust. And of course, I am a mother of 2 young children. I am also a wife. So I have also to ensure to make sure that I have a quality time for my family. Aside also from running a business in the mining sector, I have also a pharmacy business to run. So paano ko iayos lahat yun? So I have to take a work-life balance. Kasi in life talaga, we have many challenges. So we just have to be ready for them in any challenges na darating sa life natin. I would like to share lang, just like today, I'm about to speak, biglang nag-brand out dito sa amin sa Surigao. So, of course, it is another challenge for me na biglang nag-brand out. So, yun lang ang masishare ko sa experience and challenges when it comes sa naranasan ko sa mining industry. So, thank you, Ma'am Cha, for inviting me sa webinar para makashare ako ng mga experience sa other women. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Sarah. So this is how we can see how women are creative and resilient despite the challenges. So moving on, we have our next speaker, Miss from Palawan this time. So we're done with Surigao. Now we will go to Palawan. Our next speaker is from Berong Nickel Corporation. The company, the BNC, was recognized as the 2021 Gender-Sensitive Mining Company in the Mimaropa region by DENR Mines and Geosciences Bureau during a virtual event in support to the 2021 National Women's Month celebration. BNC was lauded for enabling and empowering women to rise from the ranks and lead in a male-dominated profession, thereby advancing gender equality and women empowerment in the minerals industry. During the same event, two employees of BNC were honored as the most empowered women in mining in Mimaropa region for 2021. And we are fortunate to have them both. And one of them I really met in the mine site, and I was really amazed on how she was able to conquer and operate a backhoe. So first, for our first speaker from Palawan, allow me to welcome Miss Rofeli or Pia Saldanelo, who is in dearly widow and mother of three who worked as a mine site security guard before joining BNC, and now as an ore checker. And then in 2015, she was one of the 5 women who signed up to BNC's training program for backhoe operators. So good morning, Pia.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Unang-una
Tayo
sa
ulit.
lahat. Good morning po sa lahat. Ako po si Rofili Pia Milian de Saldahino, backhoe operator sa mine site area mula pa noong 2015 hanggang ngayon. So, ang challenge talaga sa akin nung nagtitraining kami, talagang mahirap kasi hindi ka pa talaga marunong. Wala kang knowledge kung paano i-operate ang heavy equipment na yan. So, kailangan mong pupusan, pag-aralan kung paano mo i-operate siya. Kailangan alisin mo yung takot sa sarili mo para makuha mo. Ang natutunan ko, masyado pong mahirap para sa akin ang trabahong ito. Sa umpisa talaga napakahirap kasi hindi namin alam kung ano ang gagawin. Then sa araw-araw na lumilipas, dumating din ang punto na na-operate namin ng maayos ito. Nung panahon na marunong na kami, may kanya-kanya na kaming na-assign na trabaho. Binibigyan na kami ng aming leadman kung ano yung dapat namin gawin. Binibigyan kami ng instruction kung paano gawin ang isang trabaho sa mine site area. Ang pinakamahirap para sa akin, na binibigay sa akin nung panahon na sa operation kami, yung medyo bangin. Yan ang takot na takot ako dyan. Kasi mahina po ako dyan sa pag tinitingnan ko yung left side na bangin. Takot na takot ako dyan. Hindi ko alam kung paano ko i-operate ang backhoe. Pinagpapawisan ako ng malamig. Hindi ko malaman ang gagawin ko. Pero kailangan kong i-manage ang aking sarili kung paano para makuha ko yung tamang proseso ng trabaho at magampanan ko ito ng maayos. Ang pinakamahirap noon, yung mag-segregate kami ng ore. Mahirap na trabaho po yun para sa mining area, ang mag-segregate ng ore. Kung paano yung pasadong ore at hindi pasado. So, naging maayos naman yung ganong sitwasyon na pag-aralan ko kung paano i-manage ito. So, sa araw-araw na lumilipas, naging madali na sa akin ang lahat. Nagagampanan mo na ito ng maayos. Ang masasabi ko lang, napag-aralan ko na hindi naman lahat ng pangbabaeng trabaho. Ang mga trabahong panglalaki sa ngayon, kaya na rin trabahuin ng mga kababayan. Kailangan lang na lakas at tibay, tiwala sa sarili. Yun ang puhunan. Sa lahat, maraming salamat po. Yan lang aking maisishare sa inyo.
Thank you, Pia. And indeed, alam ko talaga na you are very strong because I've seen you in the mine site and how you conquered your fear in operating a backhoe. And okay, so our last and not the least speaker is our next resource person is also from Berong Nickel Corporation, who also received an award from the Mines and Geosciences Bureau. She's the Community Relations Officer of Berong Nickel Corporation in Palawan. So allow me to welcome Ms. Debbie Arquillo of Berong Nickel Corporation. Good morning, Debbie.
Hello everyone. Good morning, Ms. Cha. A pleasant morning para po sa lahat. Hopefully we are all safe. Though we have a challenge right now, yung mga pandemic. So hopefully lahat po tayo ay safe and maging malakas ang pangangatawan. We would like to extend our thank po sa organization ng PINEA, especially dun po sa kanilang executive director na napakasigasig, si Ma'am Charmaine Kapili, for giving us the chance to share our challenges. Ang akin po is in general, na what women faced sa mining industry, and also what are and how we conquer those challenges. We also wanted to share some of the best practices of Berong Nickel Corporation in terms po in promoting the sustainable development and role advancement of women. For now po, we want to share a short presentation lamang po on how women are doing here in terms of women empowerment and sustainable development. Okay. As we all know, mining has been a traditional male-dominated work environment due to the fact that it involves physical strenuous activity. At present, however, women have joined the mining workforce not just to be confined in desk doing administrative, clerical, and domestic services, but also in the promoting women's sustainable development. We continue to be a well-diverse company, promoting gender equality, especially among women, and continues to support sustainable development for women. Isa po sa pinaka-the best practices ng Berong Nickel Corporation is yung kanilang employment to women. As of historically, based on the data, we have a maximum 27% women hired dito po sa Berong Nickel Corporation. And as of to date, meron po kaming 590 employees as of April 2021, wherein yung male po is nasa 86% or 519, and the women consist po ng 71, which is 14%. Once we say po na ito po ay well-diverse, hindi lamang po nag-hire ng single, but ito po yung numbers namin sa ngayon. Now we have 42 married women, we have widow na 3, we have single parent na 13, and we have single na 13 din. So, in every aspect of being a woman sa is kahit married or widow, we hire as long as they were qualified. And then, tulad po na nabanggit ko kanina, what are these best practices? Some of the best practices ng BNC in terms of gender development pagdating po sa mga kababaihan. First is the company provides skills development and engaging in various management trainings and learning activities. They provide us training tulad po na nabanggit kanina ni Pia. She's one of the fruit ng kanilang skills development training. Nakapag-training po siya as backhoe operators. And also the management give us corporate trainings and learning activities para po sa amin namang career development. As a result, sa ngayon po, ito po yung status namin. We have 5 women hydraulic operators. We have 1 lady welder. Meron po kaming women firefighters, and we have women na safety officers. We also enjoyed the equal pay structures and enjoyed the different benefits na nai-enjoy din po ng mga kalalakihan. So kung anong bawa, ang sahod po ng lalaki ay 100, same sa hydraulic operator, same din po yung sahod ng mga babae. So equal pay structure po and the same benefits po. We also give participation in decision making and chances to manage employees. And because of that, we have two lady department heads, isa pong mechanical supervisor na babae, at meron din po kaming HR admin na supervisor na babae din po.
Okay.
And also, flexible work environment, which aids the balanced work and the family. Ngayon po, pinag-uusapan natin kanina yung what are these challenges that we have faced pagdating po sa minahan. Since nasabi po natin na usually ang mining po is a male-dominated environment na pumapasok po tayo na kaunti lang tayo. We would like to share some of the pictures ng mga babae na nasa minahan na naka-hire po nandito ngayon. Ayan po yung mga activities nila. This is the lady operator and the firefighters. We engage them in trainings. And ito po yung iba sa safety and din sa aming environment. Also, what are the challenges na nahaharap po namin? Sinamarize ko lang po siya sa dalawa. Yung work and family organization o prioritization and the fear and anxiety. So ano po yung marami po talaga tayo pagdating sa, since na ako po personally is a married at meron po akong anak, isa po sa nagiging challenge namin is yung how we cope with the work and family. So pag may mga emergencies, and dati po kasi syempre hindi po ako nagtatrabaho, ngayon po na may additional responsibility po tayo. So ano pong ginawa natin? First, we should know our priorities, and syempre yung time management. Yan po. So, magaling po tayo sa pagmamanage. So, kaya po, nakakonquer po natin yung mga challenges na yun. And then, ano po yung fear and anxiety po na nahaharap natin? Una-una sa sarili, sa pangalawa sa mga co-employee. Kasi, tulad po, bilang isang comrel po, bilang isang babaeng comrel na nagli-lead po sa company, sa department, at sa sa community, iniisip po natin, maniniwala ba sila sa atin? Kaya ko kaya yon? So yun po yung minsan mga tanong na nagiging challenge para sa atin. So ano po yung ginawa natin doon? Unang-una, self-confidence po by gaining more knowledge sa work at saka sa field. Pangalawa po, keep challenging ourselves. Nasasabihin, kaya natin to. And then take the risk because we know that they were necessary for personal and professional fulfillment and growth. May paborito na nga po akong motto yung go girl. Yan. So go girl po tayo lagi. And then, lastly, isa po sa pinakamaganda natin is sa buhay, motto sa buhay is there's no limit on what we can accomplish. So yun lamang po, and thank you very much po sa lahat.
Thank you, Deb. So, I think we have no more time. So, before we end our forum, I would like to ask each of our resource persons to give their final message. No? First, I would like to call on Miss Maya for her final message.
Yeah. Thank you, Charmaine. I'm very happy to be here again. I think because tomorrow will celebrate the National Labor Day. So I would like to congrats to people in Philippines on the Labor Day. We are all here at labor. So hopefully we might get more benefits and from this mining industry, especially for nickel industry. I hope that you are getting the price is getting much better, and the industry and the production is more increased, and all the safety. Safety is the most very important part of the production, and also COVID protocol. I hope we might get past this very challenging time with the COVID, and yeah, stay safe and health. I hope more female leaders will come up shortly in Philippines and same as in Indonesia. Yeah, that's all from me.
Thank you, Maya, and hope to see you soon again. And stay
Sure.
safe. Thank you. So for our next speaker, we would like to call on, of course, Asek Nits Kagiwa of DENR to give her closing statement. Ma'am Nits.
Yes, good morning again. Good morning pa ba? Or pagod to na? Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the invitation, Miss Charmaine. I really appreciate the invitation. At the same time, I'm so glad and happy knowing that based on the presentation from the mining companies, the role of women, nandyan pa rin. Although sinabi nila na, or nasabi natin na konti pa lang, but as we go along with this, the women empowerment in the mining industry is also increasing. Especially this time na we need to work more, and with the lifting of the moratorium, I know that more women will be joining the mining companies to share their knowledge and expertise. At the same time, yung inahanap natin na magkaroon tayo ng responsible mining. It's not only for today, but until the next generation. With us, the women in the industry, I hope and pray that hindi lang sa ngayon na yung contribution natin, na much more maging bigger yung contribution natin to the industry. And talking of yung sinabi na in the mining industry, my learnings when I started as hindi para ako mining engineer noon, joining the mining companies, there is that respect to women in the mining industry. Kasi respect begets respect. If you are going to respect yourself, everyone in the industry, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, you'll be also respected. Thank you and maraming salamat.
Mai, salamat, Asek Nits. Hope to see you again soon in your office. So stay safe always. So our next speaker will be Zara, Miss Zara Lugo of Kelly Logistics and the associate member of one of our associate members of the association. Hi, Ma'am Zara. Naka-mute po kayo.
Okay. Hello, Ma'am Cha. Yes, Ma'am Cha, I am happy to be invited as a speaker. So, I would like just to emphasize to all the women that there is a good opportunity here in mining, whether as employment or business. In fact, here in Surigao, there are lots of mining companies here which give us opportunity to our livelihood. So as women, we just have to be, don't be afraid to take the risk. Just work hard, be focused and determined. And especially, wag nating kalimutan, we have to pray also and ask for the Lord's guidance and strength to lead us into the good direction. And of course, I am also happy and thank you also din sa mining company na 9 years na kami nagpo-provide ng LCT as a woman din na for giving me a chance to transact with them. So, that's all.
Thank you. Thank you kaayo, Ma'am Sara. And stay safe also. And our next speaker is Debbie from Berong Nickel Corporation.
Good morning po uli, and ma'am, thank you. Ma'am Charmaine, thank you po for this opportunity. We're so grateful po para nabigyan po kami ng ganitong pagkakataon. And in behalf po ng mga women na employed po namin dito sa Berong Nickel Corporation, thank you so much po. As we say po, there's no limit in what we can do. So, go girl lang po talaga tayo.
Thank you, Debbie. And of course, our last and final speaker is Pia, the backhoe operator and one of the strongest women in Mimaropa. Pia?
Good morning po ulit, ma'am. Sa lahat po, maraming salamat at always safe lang po tayo. God bless po.
Thank you. So on that note, on behalf of the Philippine Nickel Industry Association, we would like to thank you, thank everyone for joining our talk this morning. So before we end, we would like to request you to please like and follow our Facebook page so you can get updates on the next episodes of Nickel Initiative. For now, I wish you all a good day and happy weekend. Thank you.